Jazzcast Pros.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Getting Real with Bossy, the podcast that talks about what it's really like to be a business owner. And welcome to 2025. I'm your host, Kelly Bush, along with
Kelly Metras.
And we are so happy to have you here. Welcome to 2025. We made it. We made it here. I don't know what made it looks like for you, but we're here. That's all I got. We made it to this day.
It's an interesting life that we live. It is an interesting life. I don't even know where to start. It's good to see you too. I miss your face. It's been so crazy.
I know. I hate the holidays. I like the holidays and I hate the holidays. I think the holidays are always a struggle. And I know we talked about it a lot for small business owners because it's usually a busy time. And it's always a busy time for family. But this year was particularly difficult. We had a lot of family stuff going on and a lot of business was busy in not all the best ways. And it was a struggle. I'm glad it's over. And I hate feeling like that. And I think we need to normalize not asking, how are your holidays? Because I'm sick of answering. And if you ask the question, you just have to take the answer because sometimes the answer is just not great. Just not great. Glad it's over.
Yeah.
Be okay with that.
Shitty.
Yeah.
Right. I always tell people mine aren't over yet. Christmas just sits in the middle of birthday season. So I'm still in shit mode. Like, I still got like 3 more weeks.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, this was a tough year for small businesses. I was doing a little research. It's so tough because I feel like every year I want to like look at all new business trends and they're so hokey. Like, we know it's trending now? The customer experience. Like, when is that not trending?
What?
People are really looking for authenticity.
Nobody gave a shit about their experience previously to 2025.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. Paychex is reporting, though, that 86% of small business owners said that they faced very difficult economic uncertainty in 2024. And I can attest to that. And I think any small business owner I've spoken to can as well. It was a very difficult year financially. It was unpredictable. It was difficult. There was so many ups and downs and people's patterns and their spending was off. It always is in a election year, but this year was particularly polarizing. So it was very...
I still don't understand why people don't spend money before the election. Like, it doesn't... I think I already went on a rant about that in a previous episode, so you guys can just rewind and listen to me rant about that in my upcoming political career.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But I think the only real trend we're going to see that's definite is AI. That is here to stay. And I think that is definitely going to reshape the job market.
It's also really scary that people don't understand how AI works. For instance, your Google search, right? Like you get the AI at the top, isn't the best answer for your search. It's like the most popular one. Like the one that people have looked at the most. So like if you're spending a lot of time looking at conspiracy theories, you're just making it look more real. But like there's no actual evidence to back that search.
Yeah, it's not actual facts.
So it's actually made, as somebody who understands it, it's made using the internet harder. Because before you just went through and you looked for websites that you could read, that you trusted their sources. You know, and now it's like, Google's telling me this is the answer. Google, you're welcome to pay us.
Absolutely.
I don't know that I can get through a conversation throughout a whole day without saying that word, but they're not giving us the accurate information. And AI can only use information that is prior. So like anything that's recently discovered or published or researched or come out isn't a part of that search because they haven't been uploaded into the AI platform yet.
Right.
So it's all very scary in that aspect of it. Like I love the convenience aspect. I love when you're really busy and your brain's fried and you can't think of things. It helps you like organize and come up with those things. Oh, you're going to join us again. My cat's on her way.
Oh, wonderful.
But yes, so AI is never leaving, but you have to proofread and you have to look at your sources. Mm-hmm. And those are not good things for small businesses. One thing I have I've come to the realization of this a long time ago, but recently was reminded of is that people do not understand that there are people doing all of the jobs. Like, even in small businesses. So they have this they mentality that has always existed and we've always fought against. And then sometimes it's just put back in my face harshly. But the whole, it's their problem. They'll take care of it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
That it's a freaking human being. Like, we all screw up sometimes. I'm really sorry. It's like when you have fresh food, at the restaurant and people are like, oh, well, your recipe sucks. And it's like, well, I'm really sorry. I might have a new cook that's learning, or the produce is seasonal. And since we use fresh food, sometimes we don't realize the jalapenos are milder than normal or spicier than normal. And you have to adjust the recipes as you go, and until you tell us, because we're not eating everything all the time, even though we should be and we want to be, it's just not realistic.
Right.
And it's like, it's a human being, so I'm really sorry this got messed up or you didn't enjoy this. It's a human being. We can fix it. So yeah, that's the part about AI.
Well, I think too, the convenience of it is so great for so many reasons, but it also contributes to that. I want it now. I want it fast. Everything. I think that's just that's tricky. And I don't love that society is going to that, because it makes things very difficult, especially in hospitality world. Like, no, not everything is going to be perfect every time. Not everything's going to be fast. Not like we are dealing still with people. AI can replace some of the jobs in our businesses, but not most of them. They're still going to be done by a person. I can't have an AI bot make your steak.
No, or wash your dishes.
Or serve your drink. Right. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see, but it is nice to have my, emails done or proofread or started at least, or outlined. So I do appreciate that about it. And it does help with social media scheduling and things like that. So I am embracing it. And I think that's going to be one of the things I'm going to get better at, because I'm going to tell you, I want to talk about our top threes. I have like top 40, but I'm going to stick to top 3 hits and misses this year, this last year. Should I start with my hits?
We'll start with hits and we'll go to misses, and then we'll sandwich them back with some positive.
Yeah. So the things that went really well for me this year, Marshall Street had some interesting developments with the Strong Museum and everything that's the development that's going around there and the hotels. And we're getting just a different clientele in, but still our old clientele. So it's very interesting seeing that, and getting our staff on board isn't always the easiest thing. So it's been tricky. So like, hey, we're going to bring in some new glassware, and it's been interesting. So really leveling up some of the stuff we're doing there has been fun. And like a cocktail list has been a struggle, and we have like a cocktail list now. So it's been very interesting, but seeing some success there has been very cool, and watching them embrace it has been really neat. So that's like one really cool thing for Marshall Street. For the Union, the constant pivots that we do, because that's all we know how to do there, the pivots to continuing to create experiences has blown up this year. And I think we have just embraced it now. We are selling experiences now like we sell gift cards. So we've been like, people are like, I want to buy a cocktail class with Amy and Don. We're like, okay, that's, we make up a amount and we just like print up a card. So it's been very interesting, but that's been something that we've just embraced. And I think that's what people are spending money on. And we finally really found somebody good to invest in for management down here in good old Seabreeze. So those have been my hits. My hits for this year.
I love that.
Yeah. And it took a lot of trust to be able to do that. And my misses, I have been using my time real poorly this year. I did not use time well at all. I invested a lot of time in things I shouldn't have. And some of it was for self-care, and that's good. That's good wasting time. But, getting the books ready for taxes, I'm like, where was I? What was I doing? So that sucks when you realize I'm just so behind. And if I'm looking for stuff, I'm like, oh, if I was just keeping up with this, I wouldn't be looking for it because it would be fresh in my mind. I got very disorganized this year, and I can come up with 1,000 excuses why, but I'm just incredibly disorganized. And if I spent 30 minutes a week, it wouldn't be this bad. And I am using people in the wrong areas. And I have a lot of people, I don't want to say at my disposal because that sounds really shitty, but I have a lot of people offering help and I've been not utilizing any of it. And it's been a year of just me being frustrated for a lot of reasons and not taking the help that's at my disposal. And I can do it. I can do it. And then I don't because I'm depressed and I'm anxious and we've got a lot of stuff going on personally and financially. So I'm just, fighting that and not getting a lot of stuff done. So I've just had a really tough year in productivity and I'm going to change that for next year. That is my main focus, is to just back to basics. What's important? That is getting my energy and I'm pushing off all the other stuff. I will let AI take on stuff. I will let the management take on other stuff. I don't need to be in 10 places at once. No, and I'm going to be organized because I can't work in disorganization. I can't do it. It's just not productive.
No, it's not helpful. It's not healthy.
That's my year recap. How about you?
I simplified it. Top 3 successes for 2024. I'm not bankrupt. I'm not divorced. And my kids are all healthy and okay.
What else can you ask for?
With that being said, my top 3 struggles were finances. We took a giant leap of faith and it blew up in our faces. We lost a lot of money and it is over now, but I still have to figure out how to pay all of the debt that is outstanding. In the fact that we will never get that retirement money back. We put everything we had in, thinking that this was going to be something that we could retire on. So for whatever reason, don't have to get into that right now. It didn't work. But as of today, I am not bankrupt. There were lots of moments in the past year where I thought that was going to happen. So I think I spent most of my 2024 finding money, finding debt access, so that we didn't default on things, trying to roll things over, getting, opening credit cards and personal loans and zero interests and whatever the hell I could get my hands on, home equity, just so that we could stay afloat. My kids felt it. They felt the stress. My relationship felt it. There were multiple times I wasn't sure if we were going to make it. And I always say, I don't know if we're going to make it, right? That's my whole mantra on marriage is we make that choice every day. But there were some times this year that it got really close. And it could still get really close again. And we have to make that choice every day to work on it and do our best. But it was a hard year. It was of all the crazy things I've done and risks I've taken, not only was it the most expensive, but it was the most stressful. I would say it was might have been more stressful than 2020. With that being said, we did finally find what I think is, and I don't want to say it out loud because I don't want to jinx myself, the perfect kitchen manager that we've been looking for. It's somebody that used to work for us. She was coming back into town and looking for work and just was like, hey, I would love to be able to work for you guys again. I liked working for you. Restaurant people can be assholes. And do you have anything at all? I'll bust tables. I don't care. I need something because I'm coming home. And I was like, well, actually, she would have been in line for management, but she ended up moving during COVID down to Florida for personal reasons. And so I kind of jumped on it. And she's been doing an amazing job with our team. I told her I have the most amazing kitchen team. I really do love them all. They just needed leadership. They don't have the background knowledge about food because they're young. In this generation, they don't cook. You don't make food. You're not often getting cooked for. That's not it's not a part of life. And that's something that in my family I've always taken very seriously because my mom cooked dinner, but she didn't cook. No offense, Mom. I'm not offending you. It's just how it was. You had your chicken, you had your frozen vegetable, right? You had your stew, not your stew, your casserole, right? We had a lot of casseroles things that she could throw together. She was a stay-at-home mom. My dad worked late, so it could be held till he came home, and you went on with your life. So I wanted my kids to know what it was like to eat cooked food. We grow food, even though we don't grow enough to sustain on. We still grow it so that they see it as a part of their lives, right? And in being in the restaurant world, it's really important to me for them to understand food.
Mm-hmm.
Our staff don't have that, and the front of housers get it a little bit more because they've worked at a lot of places, so you get exposed to food, whereas our kitchen staff doesn't have that background even. So she's done an amazing job already. She's only been with us a few weeks. I've been back there a lot, which was also very stressful. So while we were navigating all of that, I had to kind of go full time at Selena's for various reasons that all kind of compounded on top of each other. But sometimes life just kind of shoves you where you need to go. So I've made a lot of changes there. I think that they are very good changes. I think it's going to help a lot of the issues that we were unable to solve over the past year or two. Owning two businesses, I'm going to go into a side tangent. I don't know if I want to go into a side tangent. It's not that you can't own multiple businesses, right? If you have the right team. It's that when one is taking all of your everything, then it's, right? So
Right.
I Square took all of my everything. Every waking moment was thinking about money for at least 6 months of the past year. Where am I going to get the money from? What's due? How am I going to do this? Right? Without losing my house, without losing my kids' future, which I've already lost. That's it. It's done. Without losing Selena's, how do I navigate all of it? So when one's taking up everything, then it becomes difficult. If the business was a little bit more successful on its own and people were spending money a little bit differently, it would have been a different experience. So people are like, well, of course you can't have two businesses. They're so different. They're so far apart. And I'm like, no, they're not actually any of those things. So my pluses are that I'm still married.
Well, we're doing good.
Okay. And I'm not currently bankrupt. Yay. You know what I would like to do a shout out for? We talked about this before, and I think this is a good time to do it. Because anytime I'm in the down, I like to Michelle Obama it. And you got to go high. And I'm feeling the down right now. I don't like talking about the down. I want to do a shout out to all the people out there that religiously follow and like and comment and share their friends' shit when they're small business owners. I have a handful of people that I barely even talk to anymore because life is so busy. And every time I go in and check the accounts, there's a like or a comment or a share. And it's always that same handful of people. And I'm just giant hugs and kisses to all the people out there that are supporting and loving on their friends from a distance. Let's make that a goal for 25. Let's all be better at supporting each other in those little things.
Mm-hmm. It means so much. I mean, just personally, it means so much. Just like you said, just being that can lift your spirits. But sharing small business stuff, even if it's something you would never go to or spend your money on or support, for whatever reason, somebody in your friend list might, and that could become a tomorrow money. And, we talk about that a lot. Today money isn't what we're ever focused on. Somebody who could become a huge customer of ours or supporter, that's huge. So keep doing that. That stuff means so much, but you're right. Seeing those things, I love that. When I'm like, oh my God, I haven't talked to that person in 10 years. That's so sweet. That's amazing.
Yeah. And I feel, I'm of all the people I do talk to, and then it's the handful of people that I don't talk. And even my mom, she's probably got 40 Facebook friends. And it's
right. Her
and my aunt and my cousin, commenting on the post that my mom shares on her page. But it's still sweet that she knows. She probably knows from listening to this podcast. I'll have to ask her later, Charlene. But just knowing that she takes that moment to be oh, look at what my daughter's doing. It's very sweet, even if only 40 people might see it.
Absolutely.
My cat is attacking me. A couple of things I got going on this year I'm excited about. We're planning on doing Fringe Fest again with better sound. We have to figure that out still, but we have a few months. We're working on an improv dinner. We have a group that was working with us at iSquare on doing improv and comedy nights, and they're going to perform an improv dinner at Selena's. So we're really excited about that.
Awesome.
And our trivia nights have been blowing up.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to roll with that. I think my cat is too lazy to jump onto my lap, so I'm just going to help
I think
her.
so. Yeah. Telling you, people are they're looking for experiences. They're looking for things to do. And I think that's going to continue.
One of the things we came up with that we're hoping to do next year, we did the dinner that goes wrong at Fringe Fest, but we want to do the Grinch that stole dinner and do like the dinner that goes wrong, but with the Grinch.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. So everybody has been, ever since Fringe Fest last year and like us doing more in the restaurant instead of having it in the event space. So like it was very separate years before. But since we didn't have the event space and we did it in the restaurant, like the whole staff seemed to be very into it. And we're like, oh, what else can we do? What can we do next year? Let's do this every month. And I was like, I can't do this every month. It's like, I can't be that person every month. That was a lot. So really trying to like feed off of that.
Excellent. Well, maybe I'll get a night off. Maybe if I stick to my goals and I prioritize and I delegate, I can actually come out and do stuff.
Yes.
That'd be nice. Amazing. But yeah, we're going to continue to do those things too. It works. I mean, people love it. They love coming out. We've been doing those murder mysteries for a while now. And I think there's moments where I'm like, these are so goofy and silly, but.
They are goofy, but that's the fun part, right? Like, So do you think that you've changed as a business owner in 2024?
Definitely. I don't know if it's for the better or for worse. I think that this was a year of me learning lessons. I think it was a year of learning for me to become a better business owner in 2025. I think it was a year of some costly mistakes, which you have to have those years. And I think we made a lot of progress, and I think I did a lot of good things, but man, there are some things I wish I could go back and do differently, but I am looking forward to changing a lot of that in 2025 with some focus. I'm going away. We're going out of town. I found this. Well, I've tried to go to this place a couple times. It's out in the middle of nowhere. It's a lodge. It's a remodeled elementary school. So we're just going to go for 3 days to just sit in the quiet in the woods and do nothing and hopefully come back with some strategies and plans and hit the ground running. Mm-hmm.
It's so hard when you're struggling to see the future.
Mm-hmm.
Like I found myself, I actually just deleted Facebook off my phone. I always post for the businesses. Oh my God, this cat. Apparently she never bothers me when we podcast, but apparently this room, you're going to meet my cat. And this must be her room, and I didn't realize it. The doom scrolling I was doing all year, because it was the only thing that like shut my brain off. So I was just ignoring everything. And I was like, I was really hoping we would have that meeting with Hope that we had to postpone about social media and your mental health, because even back then I was like, I'm constantly trying to find the answer, like what I'm doing wrong. Like some random post is going to show me. That's not how the world works. But I was just on it. Right. So it was either like, oh, well, what are they doing? What are they doing? What are they doing? What are they doing? Or it was, I'm just going to get into reels and just watch stupid cat videos and like people making fools of themselves because I can shut my freaking brain off. But that means I also ignored life. So I feel like I lost 2024. So my goal for 2025 is just to be present.
I like that.
I would like to write. I don't know what that will become of that, if anything. I would like to use our camper that's no longer moldy.
Definitely.
I would like to sit in the woods more, which is the whole reason we got that years ago, was the idea that we could just be out nowhere without the internet and the kids could just be, right? So yeah, just centering, like figuring out what's next, because I don't know. It's definitely not what I did this year. That is not next year.
No.
I did it wrong. I did 2024 wrong.
Well, it was our year of learning. And, we still have a record store to open someday, so we've got time.
Just do it out of one of our houses.
It's totally fine. We can totally redo this room. Plenty of room.
Can we do it virtually? We'll just listen to music and just have like an open chat room and just listen to music and talk about books and drink coffee.
I think so.
Right?
Yes, that is the overhead I am looking for my next business.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Just like do like a Facebook
internet?
Live. Yeah. All you need is the internet.
Yes,
I'll bring a
sold.
hotspot when I'm in the camper.
Yeah, you'll need it out there for sure. Perfect. And I'll just, maybe I'll have my 3-season room by then, because that's a goal for when we are back in good standing financially. I want to do a little remodeling. So that's my goal, is to work on the house a little bit this year. So yeah. All right. I love that. All right. Whew. Gonna be some cool things from us next year.
Done. Screw 2024.
It's over. We're in a new year now. New year, new us.
Woo, woo.
Yeah.
I've been seeing lots of like reels about people, small business owners, like, oh, look at me walking into 2025. Like I wasn't completely traumatized by 2024. And there's like a dumpster fire in the background, and they're all like,
oh yeah,
saucy walking.
I think we all felt it. Yeah, it was a really hard year. And now that we've gotten it out of the way, we've talked about it, we're going to focus on what's coming up. We're going to embrace AI. We're going to accept that customers want to have a good experience. So says Forbes. Such nonsense. They want things to be convenient. They want to be treated well. They want to know us. They want us to be genuine business owners. So
it's just so funny, because it's like, what do you think I've been doing for the past 15 years?
Right. Especially the last 5. Like, I don't know if I could be more honest. I don't think you want me to be more honest.
Yes.
Because then when I do, you get really mad.
Honest. I was probably less honest before 2020. Maybe that's my problem. Maybe I need to be less honest in 2025. I'm going to go back. We're going to go back in time. I'm going to be less honest.
Yep. 2019, Kelly. Yep. Coming at you live. It'll be good. No, I think it's going to be a good year. I think it's going to be a year of a lot of positive change. A lot of quiet. I think things are going to quiet down a bit.
Well, I don't want quiet. I want quiet here. I don't want quiet there.
Yeah, no, I mean quiet in our personal lives. Okay. Like our lives are going to be peaceful.
We should bring the Elvis and the Pope back. See how they're doing.
My phone just took a call for some reason, even though I'm on Do Not Disturb. Excellent.
So if you want to be a guest on our show and tell us what amazing things you have going on in 2025, or not amazing things, whatever. Yeah. We're up for the good, the raw, the real, the honest.
BossyRock@gmail.com. Yes, reach out, BossyRock@gmail.com, ROC. We would love to hear from you and hear how your year went. And if you would like to be a guest, we would love to have you on the podcast.
You know what else I need? I need some book recommendations.
Absolutely.
Some 2025 book recommendations for small business owners.
Yes. And just personal. I like some escape books that are not, so I need to get away from true crime a little bit too. I feel like that's a trend that I need to get away from. I think I now know how to dispose of a body pretty well. I think now I would like to maybe learn how to,
if you
spot
need
a bird.
Young adult books.
I love young adult books. I might just come over. Yeah. 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 No, I think maybe some nature, or, I need to not be true crime world.
This one is scary.
Oh yeah. That sounds good.
Escapist.
About that.
It's about puppets. I was like, oh, what do I got?
Perfect.
I got lots of stuff over here. You can just come to my library.
I will.
We'll have coffee and play records.
Perfect. I love it. Wonderful. All right. I hope everybody's having a good start to their 2025, and we can't wait to hear from you.
Be bold.
That's right. Be brave.
Be the boss.